doing?
I'm doing good. I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
Yeah, me too. I'm sorry again for what happened earlier. I'm not exactly sure what happened.
No worries at all. Technology, like whenever you need it, it works great until the time that you need it.
Yeah, definitely. But I'm glad we were able to make this work and to reschedule as soon as we were able to.
Yes, same here. Same here.
And I'm so excited to be able to speak to you about Psych. I'm a really huge fan of the show. I discovered it when I was in high school, when I was looking for something to watch on TV. And it's exciting that you not only got to do one movie after the show ended, but that now there's a new movie out now.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a magnificent, crazy, psycho journey. I never would have thought that back in 2006, that when we first started doing the pilot, that 14 years later we still would be doing telling psych stories, have such a fan base that's engaged, and still not even just us, but even the fan base having so much fun with us doing it.
And how surprised were you that even after the show ended and after the first film ended, that the Psychos wanted more of the series?
I think each time I'm pleasantly surprised. I'm humbled. I'm blown away. I'm thankful, and I'm really amazed. I'm just like, wow, because again, it's if we tried to orchestrate everything to get to this point, we would not be able to do it. It is just the perfect storm of the right fans at the right time with the right show, telling the right stories, and this love fest has just been going. And I mean, it's great. I mean, I could tell Gus stories for a lifetime, really, as long as the Psychos really enjoyed it and wanted to see more.
I hope to see more sometime soon. Do you know if there's going to be a revival on Peacock or if there's going to be a third movie?
I don't have anything to announce yet, but the Psychos have a lot of power.
Yeah,
the Psychos have a lot. It's like you all keep making the loudest noise, and I'm sure that your call will be answered.
Yeah, I mean, I'll keep rewatching the show and I'll keep tweeting about it. That's as much as I can do on my end.
Hey, and it is greatly appreciated. It is greatly appreciated. Because it's fun. It's fun. I like how on with our show we pick up. We just keep checking back in with the characters, and we see in real time where they are. And if you look at Sean and Gus and Juliet and Sailor Nay and the whole entire world, Lassie, Henry, no one is really in the same place as they were 10 years ago. So it's fun and enjoyable to tell the story.
And Psych gains more fans almost every day, and they're like discovering the show, whether it's on reruns or Netflix. It's amazing to see how much the fan base just keeps on growing.
It really is. It really, really is. And I'm so thankful to be on this journey with the Psychos and with my castmates. It's just absolutely with Peacock, the entire network. It's just been USA before and now Peacock. It's been phenomenal.
And what was it like to reunite with the cast and the crew for the second movie, especially to reunite with Tim Amundsen and your West Wing co-star Richard Schiff?
Oh yeah, I mean, reuniting with, let me pull this camera down a little bit. Reuniting with having Tim back on set, there's not words to really fully encompass what that meant to me, to us as the Psych family. Doing the first movie was a lot of fun. We had a blast, but there was a big void missing in Tim Amundsen. And to see him walk onto this set in Vancouver after all what he went through to, suffer the stroke, and then we were not even too sure whether he was going to make it. And then to see him keep pressing towards and keep leaning in his recovery, like he willed himself to get back to the set. It was so emotionally powerful and so moving for us. I just couldn't ask for anything better than to see to see him bringing his craziness back to the Psych world.
Yeah.
Having Richard Schiff on the show, I mean, Richard, I have a lot of love for Richard. He's been a friend, family since 1999 when I first started doing The West Wing. And even when we're doing the series of Psych, he would come to Vancouver often to do work on other projects. So when the role came up, and I think either Roday or Chris Henze or somebody reached out to me saying, you think Richard would be interested in doing this? And I said, well, I'll call him. And he checked it out and he said, for you, anything. He said, for you, anything. And it was that simple. It really wasn't a complicated process at all. He said, sure. And he came on up and got a chance to hang out and play. And it's fun because Richard does a lot of dramatic work. So it was nice to have him come on Psych and be able to, show a lighter side or a wackier side of his personality.
It was definitely great to see him because I know I'm currently watching him on The Good Doctor on ABC. And he's doing great in that role. And to see him on Psych and especially reunited with you was definitely a twist that I was not expecting because I didn't know on it.
Well, I'm glad we were able to surprise you with that a little bit. And what I liked about the movie too is that we kept tipping our hat to, like, I think Sean says something about The Good Doctor isn't so good after all, or something like that in the movie. And then, Sarah Chalky said something about, I know you like the back of my scrubs. I know this act like the back of my scrubs. And then, what was another one that happened? There was, and even Roday said when Henry said something about This Is Us, he said, why are you watching that show when there's the same exact show on ABC? Just knew it.
Yeah.
It was like all those moments in the show really cracked me up.
It was really funny to hear that line, especially coming from James mentioning his show.
His own. It's like shameless self-promotion. That's what Psych is. It's just shameless self-promotion.
And do you like to hang out with the cast? Off the set as well as on the set? I
do. Over the years, I really stayed close to Roday. I really stayed close to Maggie Lawson. I really stayed close to Tim Amundsen. Maggie was at my wedding. Roday was in my wedding. He was one of my groomsmen. Corbin, he's always on the move, so I see him whenever we can. Same thing with Kirsten. It's a love fest. They really, when you spend that much time, we're talking 8 years on set, you can't help for people to become family. They really
you're like one big family now.
You really are. And it's like when your wins are my wins and your hurts are my hurts. When you struggle, we're right there for each other. When we're going through the curves of life and when we're on the mountaintop, we're right there with each other. And it's a wonderful thing to have a group of people to go on a journey with.
And what do you remember from your first day back on the set with everyone?
The first day back on the set is everyone, the actors, the crew, everybody singing happy birthday. That's just what we do. Whenever a guest star would be on the show and they would leave, like be wrapped for the episode, right after they finished their last shot, somebody, whether myself or Marco Ciccone, who's the A camera operator, or Roday or somebody, or Tim, somebody would go, ah, and everybody would hit their harmonizing note. And then the actor's always like looking around like, what in the world is happening? And we start singing, happy birthday to you. And we sing this whole thing. We would call it the Psych choir. And then finally, when they would realize that they're saying it's not my birthday. And then after a while, they just would realize that that's the way we're singing them out. Once we started the movies, though, now we sing it. That's the first thing we do when we get on set. Before we do our first shot, somebody's gonna say, ah. And once we do that, it kind of helps us get back into the groove of, okay, yep, we're back here on Psych. Here we go.
So that's the first thing. Like doing pranks on the set.
Say it again?
It's like doing a prank on the set.
Yeah, it's a prank on the set that everyone is in on. Well, everyone who has been there before is on, because even, say, for example, like on the Psych movie, not everybody, like not all the crew had been on the series. So there still are some people who, when it happens, are like, what in the world what's happening here? Or any actor who's a part of the movie but hasn't been a part of the series. It's just like, what? But people fall into it very quickly. By the time we sing the first person off, once they've rapped, then they're right there.
And You and the cast are really wonderful and so hilarious on the show, even not on the show. You guys have such a comedic thing going on together that's just so perfect. What do you enjoy most about sharing that? And are there moments that are just impossible to break on the show?
I mean, what do I enjoy? What I enjoy about, I guess the the comedic timing and the journey is that we're all in it together. There's not anyone who's sitting there saying, I need to be the funny one. No. That joke it makes you be funny. So I don't like that. Everyone is all hands on deck. We're all in. If I need to do something stupid to make the joke work, I'll do it. If Roday needs to do that, Tim, Maggie, Jasmine, anybody, Kirsten, Corbin, we're all hands on deck to say, let's make it. If it's funny, let's do it. And I love that because oftentimes when you get with actors, there can be an ego that comes in where somebody's wants to be. They have to be the person in the spotlight. And in Psych, it really is a team game, and I really do appreciate that. Oftentimes on the set, it's hard. I think every scene is always hard to not break because. Well, one, Roday and I are always trying to mess each other up anyway. We're always trying to get each other to break. We're always going to do something stupid. But in the movie, especially, the hardest scene was for me anyway, was when I was tickling Kadeem Hardison, the tickle scene. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was just so utterly ridiculous. And we kept going further and further with it. It's just like, this is so wrong.
And that I thought were just so ridiculous that it's just too funny.
Yeah. What was one of your favorite moments?
Oh gosh, I definitely enjoy seeing Tim come back to the show, especially when we only saw him for like 20 seconds in the first film. And I love how he was able to recover to do this movie, and that they added his stroke into it. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was very interesting. What I enjoyed the most, and that's definitely one of my next questions, is that the tension between like halfway into the movie thinking that Sean is going to be a dad when it's really Gus.
Right. Yeah. That was a nice little misdirect.
Yeah, definitely.
And here's the thing. That was that really was art imitating life, because while Jasmine was filming, she was completely pregnant with our son Levi. Oh yeah, she was only about maybe, I think, 4 weeks away from giving birth to Levi. So if you watch the movie, there's a lot of like shots like this. She might be standing behind something, like especially at the end when she comes in and she's like, because her belly is so big at that point. we took a lot of. Steve did a great job. Really.
I definitely did that. I did not even know she was pregnant for real.
Yeah, Steve did a great job of laying out the shots with her where we could hide her belly.
Yeah.
So when she says that she's pregnant, it's kind of funny because whenever Levi gets older, he's going to realize, no, she really was pregnant with me in those scenes. Yep.
Well, that's definitely a big surprise. I had no idea. So that was a very interesting fact to hear from you. And not only are they expecting a child, but now they're engaged.
Yes, they're engaged, and she's still married. So,
yeah, I was like, whoa.
But Salem Day is always going to be. It's always going to drop a bomb on you somewhere. It's always going to be something.
Yeah, definitely.
Some surprise, but yeah, I mean, it's great. I think Gus finally met his match. During the series, Gus could never really sync up with somebody, and I think he's finally found somebody that is the yin to his yang, that balances him out. I guess he was like the lady version of Sean, and so of course that's going to work for him.
You see him in the show have a couple of girls, but he doesn't really get there like Sean did with Juliet. And to see these happen in the movie, it just makes me so happy for Gus.
Exactly. And, you know, I'm happy too, because I mean, even as the actor playing Gus, I wanted Gus to eventually find love, because, you know, it's like he owns himself, he is himself, and we all want somebody who notices, at least can take us in for exactly who we are. You know what I mean? And that's why I really wanted Gus to finally get there through all of his twists and turns. So I'm glad he did.
And speaking of funny moments from earlier, we have a lot of new nicknames for Gus, and you are always having nicknames coming from Sean. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite is probably always still Gus Silly Pants Jackson, because that is one from that, like, that's the root, one of the main roots of the whole nickname thing. What I did like about it in this movie was the ability for for Gus to he had to approve.
Yeah.
He had to approve, and he no, okay. Like, I really, I thought that was a nice, fun twist on it. But that's always my favorite. I like Lavender Gooms. Lavender Gooms is the name of my great aunt. My grandmother's cousin. She and she's passed away now, but during the series when that came out, that put a smile on her face, hearing her own name on the screen like that. I liked Daquan Smallpox Randolph. Anyone that was a shout out to actually one of my relatives, I really liked, because Daquan is actually one of my cousins. So, so that was all. It's a funny joke for the family to hear and be like, did they just say Daquan? So, John Slade. I like John Slade. I think John Slade was that Gus. That was his own name, but still, John Slade. You know, there's a whole bunch of them. I mean, the list is too many for me to really pick out one that I truly like.
Yeah, there's so many funny ones, especially when I first heard those nicknames when I first started the show. I actually thought it was a little mean at first, but then it started to get kind of funny, like a regular thing.
Right. Right. You know, it's like a term of endearment. Sean does it from a place of love.
Yes, definitely. And just to see their relationship like that, it's definitely something I'd never quite seen before in a friendship. But it just makes me pretty happy just to see them have that kind of relationship in a comedic kind of way.
Oh well, I'm so glad. That's what we tell these stories to hopefully entertain, to bring some love, to bring some joy, to bring some light into people's world, and hopefully be able to make people laugh for a very long time.
And
so I'm glad that
you question. Oh, I'm sorry. You were.
No, I said, so I'm glad that you have enjoyed it.
Oh,
that means our work has not been in vain.
And I especially love that I can relate to the characters as well, some of them on a personal basis.
Oh, good.
To have that kind of connection definitely thrills me, because there's so many kind of characters I love to relate to.
Oh, good. I'm so glad.
And my last question to you is that, are you currently working on any new projects, or not currently because of COVID?
Not currently because of COVID. I've been in quarantine here in Los Angeles with my family since March. I actually was starting a movie right before it happened. I was out of town, first day of production, and had to fly home. So I've been here. I mean, right now I'm starring in the reality show called Levi and Kennedy's Dad.
Okay.
Meaning I'm being a father. I'm being a father to my daughter, and I'm being a father to my 1-year-old son. Yeah, and probably more than anything, I'm probably, like, Jasmine and I are the audience members in their show.
That's cool. Very interesting. So I appreciate your time talking to me today. It was a thrill to talk to you and learn more about Psych.
My absolute pleasure, and I'm glad we were able to make it happen.
Me too. And I'm keeping my fingers crossed for more.
Right now, from your lips to God's ears, but God's ears will try to make it happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm glad we're able to finally meet face to face.
Yeah, I'm happy
Big
we
nod.
were working too.
So hopefully we'll cross up again along the journey.
Yeah, definitely. And once this is uploaded, I will send you a link on social media, and I'll also pass it along to Amanda to pass on to you.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right. It was really great
Yeah,
talking
well,
to you today.
tweet it out for you. It was my pleasure, my absolute pleasure.
You have a great day now.
We'll catch you up.
All right. Bye-bye.